Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So, Jazakallah khairan for all of the brothers who have contributed. MashaAllah, I've learned a lot from this seminar today, inshallah. So, the way I would sort of sum it up myself is I don't know much about the sort of geographical, political, historical aspect to what's happening in France, but what we can do is take what's happening and sort of how do we sort of respond. And really and truly, as Muslims, our first and foremost guidance is the Quran. So you should always turn back to the Quran. And in a situation like this, where the prophets were being attacked in the past, is nothing new, and it's going to continue. So how do we respond? We respond by learning more about the Prophet ﷺ, about his life, getting closer to him, by following his sunnah. Yes, we're outraged by what's happening, but we should really use this as an opportunity to really look within ourselves and become better Muslims, by following the Prophet ﷺ for what he really was, which was a role model for humanity. So we shouldn't go outside that remit in terms of responses. And being attacked is nothing new. Allah mentioned those people who hate Islam, what they say with their tongues, what's actually within their hearts is far greater. So it gives you an indicator that this hatred exists in the world, and we as believers, we must be able to deal with it in a way that is correct, which is by following the Prophet ﷺ, like the brothers beautifully mentioned. And also when it comes to responding, of course we do not tolerate our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ being abused like this, but how do we respond? Again, to show the people why we love the Prophet ﷺ, by sharing the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, show him how he actually transformed the world, why he is so beloved. And that is by going out there and engaging as positive, members of society. And regardless of what's happening, we have beautiful examples where the Prophet ﷺ went out and helped members of his community. The beautiful story of, he went and helped the old lady. He didn't even mention who he was. And there was a lot of Islamophobia at that time against the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And so then the woman, we know the story, the woman said, I would like to give you some advice. Stay away from this man who's causing disunity, disharmony in our community. And, he smiled, and he didn't even respond. And then at the end of as he was walking away, she wanted to ask, his name, because, she wanted to know who was this beautiful person that helped her. And when he mentioned he was, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the way she responded was by taking her shahada, right? So, and that was because he had a positive impact with that individual. And that's what we need to show. We need to show what Islam truly is and not respond in a negative way and, go down to the levels of, the disbelievers, but use the Prophet ﷺ. And finally, to remember that all victory is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Muslims. So be patient. This life is a test, and, our real destination is Jannah. So just maintain and make sure we end on a good way. So Jazakallah khairan. That was
جزاك الله خير.